Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Lawsplaining the Interwebs. I am your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And how are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing today? We have got some stuff to talk about. It is a Monday. Mondays are great and terrible at the same time. I think you guys know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. Mondays get a bad rap for being an absolute dumpster of the week, because it is the start of the work week for the overwhelming majority of people out there. It is the quintessential beginning of your 9 to 5 week. The beginning of Monday means you have 40 work hours to go and not enough rest and leisure hours in between. That is how many people see Mondays, and it is fair, especially if you're in school, because for you, Monday means a whole week of government-infused bullshit. So I get it. I am not a fan of Mondays in that respect, but I am fan of Mondays because Monday is show day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, generally speaking, are show days for me, and that means I get to see you guys. And that brings me some joy. It brings me a little bit of joy. So here we are. So that's why it's I got to balance it. I got to balance. Hey, Fraga Boom. Hey, what's up, man? He says, miss you, pal, going to bed. Good night, buddy. Hope to see you again soon. Keep trucking along with Black Flag. And, keep rocking it, man. Keep rocking it. I can't wait to see how I die. But anyway. Monday is also the start of the news cycle. Although I must say, happy Columbus Day to you. And also, if you are sadly offended by things, happy Columbus Day to you as well. My calendar, I auto include the holidays, and now today is 2 separate holidays on my calendar. It actually has 2 holiday entries, and it says, Columbus Day, and it also says Indigenous Persons or Peoples' Day. So, that's a thing now. Like, because Columbus coming to America and basically being widely recognized as the beginning steps of the American experiment. Were people here before Columbus? Yeah, obviously. I don't think that was in dispute. There were natives, there were Indians or whatever, as they thought. They would call them Indians because they thought they were somewhere else. Very bright, good, really tremendous map skills. No, I'm just kidding. No, so obviously, there were other people here, but it doesn't matter because Columbus coming signified what we recognize as the start of this American experiment, so to speak. It's what kicked it off. Like, to the point where we don't celebrate Amerigo Vespucci coming here, because and Amerigo is who America would be named after when they figured out, oh, we're not in India or whatever. Like, we're in something new. So we got to name it something else. Like, we don't even care about that guy. We care about Columbus Day because it's symbolic. It's symbolic of Western expansion into this world. And now Columbus gets a rap for killing a bunch of people because he kind of did. He kind of did kill a lot of people. But, that's just kind of how it goes. And I don't think we're like, you know what? I'm really glad Columbus killed all those people. That's not generally, when you're like, hey, happy Columbus Day, you're not actually like, hey, I'm really glad a bunch of blankets got out with the coof in them, the prehistoric coof, and killed all of your people or whatever. Like, that's not what people are actually saying. Shockingly, most people don't go around with that. I mean, I do because I'm horrible, but, you know, most people don't. It's just like, it's like when you say Merry Christmas to a Muslim. Like, you're not just like, hey, happy season, right? Or a Jew. Not like, oh, you guys are you're happy now, but you're killing him later. Like, that's not how that goes. No one cares about any of this stuff. It's just a word. It's just a word. It's just a phrase, an expression of, you know, some sort of, I don't know, camaraderie, general human decency. Why? When did that happen? When did this happen where, you know, like just niceties were perceived as aggressions? Like, I can't imagine being microly aggressive at anybody. Microaggressions, this is such a dated topic, but since it's Indigenous Persons' Day, we have to talk about it a little bit. Like, I don't know what a microaggress is. I would just macroaggress if I'm going to aggress. Like, you'll know. If I'm being pleasant and nice, it's because I'm being pleasant and nice. And I think some people get the wrong impression of me. Well, I mean, let me rephrase. Let me retract that and rephrase. I know lots of people get the wrong impression of me, especially, I don't think you guys do. But the Twitter people, the Twitter people or whatever, the Twitterati, they get the wrong impression of me. They think that, like, if we've had an exchange where, like, an insult was shared back or forth, either way, that, like, I am suddenly mean or something. But I'm not. I'm always nice. Even when I call you fat or whatever, I'm just trying to help. But but yeah, like, I had a kind of pleasant exchange with someone who's said a whole bunch of mean shit about me. I don't care, though. Like, I do. Who cares? It's someone on the internet. So they said mean stuff. It doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the day, none of these people know you. They don't know me. I don't know them. If I'm saying something mean about them, I'm saying something mean about their Twitter thing. Like, until you get to know someone, you can't be too mean to them, unless it's Ron, right? Unless they just beat women or whatever. Then you can be kind of mean, because you know. Like, the character of Ron Toye is on display for the world to see. And we've got lots of exposure to him. We've got interviews, we've got depositions, we've got writings, we've got court documents. I mean, that guy's pretty shit in general. So, but everybody else, just about, they're just words on a screen. Like, when they die, like that one guy who died the other day. Did I talk about this on this show? I don't remember. A. Stallings or whatever. That guy died. Is your life better or worse because that guy died? Mine isn't. I had kind of forgotten he existed. And then he didn't. Then he didn't exist. He's gone. Woo! Woo! So that didn't matter. Like, it's just a thing. He's just a thing on a screen to me. But yeah, try and remember that. And I don't mean this in your interactions with other people. I mean when you're perceiving their interactions of you. They don't have much value to you. Like, there's not, some people get really weighed down with insults and with trolling and stuff like that. It's like that person they have no license into your life. They don't have that. They can't do anything to you generally. Yeah, Biden, I liked my show with Uncivil Law, and I'm definitely going to have him on again. In fact, I sent him some text messages today. I'm going to hopefully set up something with him real soon. So anyway, my encouragement to you is don't let internet things get to you. Don't let internet things get to you. I mean, they can piss you off a little bit. They can rile you up or whatever. But, like, at the end, when you're done with your argument, breathe it out, because it's gone. It's gone, and that person's gone. And if you want that person gone, like at any time in your life, you can just turn off Twitter. You just remember that. You can turn off whatever it is, and all of them go away, and you'll never remember they exist. It's cool. It's an interesting thing we have. So anyway, now, of course, people do have the real ability to reach in and cause you damage, but most of the time they're not, right? Most of the time, I'm talking about it's just words on a screen. Just words on a screen. And in respect to that, we're going to be talking about some really fucking dumb words on a screen. 3 days. They have been arguing about something I said for 3 days. And they're still dumb in reading it. It's brilliant. I can't even take it. I can't even believe it. And even if, here's the crazy thing. Even if I'm wrong on the one issue, they're definitely wrong on the rest of it. And I don't think I'm wrong on any of it. But that's me. That's how lawyers work. And this is why maybe you guys need a caution or a bit of, how do I put this? Like a cuidado, right? Like one of the little yellow tent signs, like don't go slipping in the internet coombe, when you march into a Twitter argument, especially with law Twitter. You have to understand something very important about lawyers and about law Twitter especially, okay? There are some really important things. And we're going to talk about the Jordan Reaper situation because it's still going. It's still being talked about today. Like up until minutes ago, I was still seeing tweets on this thing in the same threads with the same inane ramblings from these other people. And what's funny is when I see lay people pointing out cogent arguments that lawyers are just missing, and there's a reason they're missing them, and that's what I'm going to warn you about. And I should have done this before. I failed in my duty. Sue me for negligence, but I'm going to warn you about lawyers a little bit, and specifically law Twitter style lawyers as well. Okay? Here we go. Lawyers are hyper focused on their own interpretations of things. And I'm not immune to this. I just try to be honest about it. Okay? Try to be honest about it. This is part of our training in that we are advocates. I touched on this a little bit with the debates, and people are like, oh, you seem kind of biased. Well, yes. Yes, bias. Bias is built into the legal profession. It's what makes us good at protecting our clients, is the bias and the sticky adhesion to a particular conclusion, especially once you've said it. Because once you've said it and then someone says the opposite, you're trained to try and win that discussion. You're trained to try and win it. And I try and fight against this from time to time when I'm trying to be neutral or pass along information or whatever. But a lot of times, lawyers just generally are trained to go win the argument. And that means sometimes they stick to a losing argument on the principle that if they can win it, though, they'll be right. This is how it works. This is why cases go through, because there are a lot of times where someone could just point out like, well, I mean, you're wrong because this, and this, and that's just silly. And then the lawyer's like, I'm going to file anyway. We'll get a judge to find out. Okay. I mean, sure, that's valid enough, but you have to understand that's the mindset you're coming into. Like I have, again, going back to one of the cases I've talked about several times was CBD oil that was confiscated, and they decided that it was illegal. But this is legal CBD oil. CBD oil is legal in Minnesota. You could buy it not quite at the grocery store, but like at a health store. You could buy it at a gym here in town. You could buy it at a massage therapist. CBD oil. It has under a tiny, tiny concentration of THC in it. It's like 99.97% CBD as the active ingredient. So anyway, but they confiscated it, right? And they said, well, it might be illegal. And you can point to statute and case law. It says, no, this is legal, right to the prosecutor's face, who is a lawyer. Prosecutors are lawyers. They deal in statutory law all day. That's how you do criminal prosecutions, is by statute. We really don't have much of a common law prosecution standard. It's statute. So they're all day they're reading these things. You can point out it's legal, legal, legal. Not this. Here and here and here it says it's not marijuana. It's not THC. It's not the cannabis plant or whatever that is used in these other sections. You could show them and they'll still go, let's see what the judge says. I mean, okay, I guess. And that's how lawyers work. Because we're trained to advocate and fight. They're advocates for the state, and the state's interest in that moment is making someone guilty of a crime. So you can't blame them for it. That's what they do. Same thing with law Twitter. You can't blame them for it. You know what? If a decision came out tomorrow, that said, I was wrong on the copyright issues for Jordan Reapers, I would say, I don't think this is decided correctly because of this, this, and this. But, you know, this is what it is. This is the ruling. And we have to live with that. And that's how it goes. And that's happened. It's happened on this show. That's how law gets developed. It's how we learn things. And that's fine. However, there isn't a decision on this. If you notice, a bunch of lawyers haven't really cited much of anything. But I must give a personal shout out to Kalinka Pavlova. I honestly have no idea how you keep going without ripping your eyelids off. I don't know. I don't suggest it. But I commend your valor and steadfast determination to try and just say, but this is what it says. So how is it different? And my favorite part was today when they pointed to the exact sentence that I've pointed out before. And they said, no, it doesn't say this. And then they tried to draw a distinction between a retweet and distribution to another service. Even though it's in the same sentence. It's in the same list. Talking about the same people. It's amazing. I don't get it. And you can't find their basis for it. Their basis for it is you're not reading it right. How? It's interesting. It's an interesting question. But Kalinka pointed out something that I don't think had been articulated very well in the argument. It got ignored. But I saw you. And let me just tell you, you're not the only person who thinks this. I'm not the only person who thinks this. I've talked to 2 copyright attorneys who also think this. Okay? So but Kalinka points out that by including the profile picture in the tweet, that the tweet itself is the work. And I agree with this. You've created a new work. And so in creating that new work, the picture becomes incorporated and part of that work. That's a thing. It's a new thing. It's not the old thing. It has a different purpose now than it had before. And I think that actually comports with the language of the Twitter terms of service, that the things that you upload are part of the content. They're part of the content. The content is your tweet. And so if the argument, because there's a distinction here, right? If you guys aren't familiar with this and it's boring, I'm sorry. we won't be on this topic too much longer. But there's a distinction in that had Jordan just taken the ugly bird from Catherine Tewson's profile picture and uploaded that somewhere as a work of art for distribution, that would be infringement. Just because it's on Twitter doesn't mean you can take it. Doesn't mean that you can just take the thing and put it up. However, that's not what he did. And so if she's saying she's claiming just the profile picture, that's only a part of the work. And that changes the calculation quite a bit. The work is the tweet as a whole, because you know your profile picture is incorporated into the tweet. It's there. Anybody who uses Twitter ever will notice that. But that is your identifying symbol. It's next to your name, which is also something that's identified. Now, similarly, if you just take the words of a tweet and you put them on a shirt in some unique phrase, yeah, you can't do that either. You have that idea recorded into a tangible medium. That idea is now recorded, and that recording belongs to you. We get into different questions. And these questions aren't clear-cut when you take the screenshot that is the tweet. And it doesn't mean that you can just take a tweet and put it on a shirt and start selling it. Not necessarily true or anything like that. I don't want people to think that. But, and I don't think that's actually in line with Twitter's terms, but, you know, maybe it is. But anyway, you grant Twitter a license to use the content that you put on the services. The content are your tweets. You also grant that use to everyone else as according to the terms. They seem to take umbrage with that. Like they seem to think that that's not a thing that's written down. And that's fine, I guess. It's there in the wording. If this went to court, I can almost guarantee you that that would be part of one of the arguments. One of the arguments is that you have a license to redistribute and re-upload this stuff. It says it in the license agreement. And an attorney saying they wouldn't make that argument is silly. Or dumb, one of the two. If you were representing that client, you would absolutely exhaust that argument as well. Absolutely. But the other part of this is, of course, fair use. Jordan took the work, along with several other works, and he commented over those works for 10 minutes. And he's specifically commenting the ideas conveyed by the works. The ideas that Fatson Tootin, she is a supporter of Black Lives Matter and Antifa. Bedek Martin, Renfamous, Jamie Markey. That's what his video's about. It's about people supporting these organizations, which I believe he finds to be objectionable because the commentary is criticizing that support. So, if you've got critical commentary of the idea conveyed by the work, which is the tweet, I mean, that's kind of fair use. Like, that just kind of goes right to it. It's also conveyed, as we saw from the Sargon channel, you don't even really need to do commentary. There's plenty of argument that Jordan's use of the works was more transformative than Sargon's was of Aquila's. I could easily make that argument. He's criticizing the ideas overtly with commentary for 10 minutes. Sargon didn't say a word. All Sargon did was clip out the content, put it into an order that he chose, and then have the title, SJW Levels of Awareness, and importantly, upload it to his YouTube channel, So people know when they go there, when they watch that, when they see the title, they don't even need commentary to know that this has been transformed from what it is, and it's for a different purpose than what it was originally created to do. Jordan's video certainly does that. It certainly does that. So there's, it would be hard to argue otherwise. I'm sure some dummies will, because they're probably watching right now. Hello, hi, nice to have you. I think you're stupid. Hello. But anyway, there's one other aspect of this which they're probably overlooking as well. And that is this other affirmative defense that is kind of incorporated into fair use, but is also distinct from it. And that's called the de minimis. The de minimis exception to copyright infringement. And that says that even if it is infringing, the infringement is so trivial that the court shouldn't bother dealing with it, because enforcement of it would far outweigh the benefit, would far outweigh the cost of the infringement. Now, since Catherine Tewson has put it as her profile picture for the purposes of identifying herself on Twitter, since Jordan used it in that video in the context of identifying her to criticize her words, but to make sure that, you know, like people know it's her because it's her picture, since it's being used there, since it's only a part of the grander work, which is the tweet itself, and since it's only a portion, it's only a tiny portion of the screen for a short segment of the video, we've got what looks to me and to some other IP attorney to be a de minimis exception, where I don't think it's infringement for the reasons presented. But even if it is infringing, there's no reason a court should be dealing with this, because it's not that big of a deal. It's not monetized. Catherine isn't monetizing it. No one who sees that and doesn't know who Catherine is cares that she made it. No one's like hitting Jordan up to buy that sick piece of bird art. Like, man, I want to take that piece of bird art from your video and I want to blow it up and put it on my wall. Like, no one out there is doing that. So it's completely pointless to suggest that this thing is somehow, like, that she's been damaged in any way, that this is even infringing. All of this is just silliness. But I would encourage anyone in the future who's going to show Catherine Tewson's stuff anywhere to go ahead and edit the photo. You don't need to blur it out. Just make sure there's enough criticism and commentary of her shit art to be transformative. This bird isn't as fat as the creator. This bird is ugly. This art is garbage. I wouldn't buy this because it's trash. You know, whatever it is, you just go ahead and do that. Just criticize the art. And then you're fine. Then you're doubly covered. She definitely won't DMCA you there. She said so. But she's also just wrong. And this is the temptation of a student in a paralegal program. She's in a paralegal program, but this is the risk of students in law school, paralegal programs, everywhere. This is the risk. She is on a knowledge zeal right now. And the sad thing is, a bunch of thirsty boys are encouraging it rather than saying, hey, you know what? Slow down, just focus on your shit. But you'll find this. Go know someone who goes to law school and you'll see it. When they hit their first year stuff, they're going to be like, let me tell you about. And when they get their second year stuff, they're going to be like, oh, let me tell you now about. And they're going to type up this litany of why everything has always been wrong forever. Because they're now enlightened. They're now smarter than everyone. And they now know the secrets. Here's the secret, though. They're just the same idiot they already were. They're just the same idiot they already were. All of them. Everybody. Every lawyer is. They may get specialized training. They might. But I'll tell you where they're not really getting it. Like in the law school classroom, they're learning how to research things, and that's great. Learning how to synthesize cases, and that's great. Practicality, not really in the window right now. But this is actually brought up on The Biggest Problem in the Universe. It was, I don't remember who, I think Maddox brought it in. Might have been Dick, though. Kind of both of their styles. But it was like recently discovered enlightenment was how they worded it. Like, I read this great book. Now you have to read this great book because it was good for me. So now you have to. And that's how they operate. That I did this. I thought it was good. It is now the best thing for you to do. And you're like, look, and Ron is emblematic of this, right? Like sending me emotional intelligence 2.0, offering to send all sorts of people. I'll send you some books. Ron, Booby. Most people aren't going to benefit from this. Even if you did. You probably didn't, but most people aren't either. But the idea that you've discovered some secret truth that, and to you it's fresh, so then to everyone it's fresh. It's not really, though. And that is the problem with law students and with paralegal students. And it can be the problem with lawyers, too. That's why I don't try to act like an authority on this stuff. Like I know some magic words, right? Like I can read some magic words and tell you what they mean. But I don't try to represent that I know the outcome of any of this stuff. Unless it's really, really obvious. Because somebody, somewhere, comes up with good arguments all the time for why things shouldn't be the way that they are. And things change. That happens with relative frequency. So the idea that you definitely know what it is. Hell, I was reading an article today about obscenity and cuties. And how prior to US v. Miller, or whatever it was, in like 1967, 68, you had Lenny Bruce, I believe, the comedian Lenny Bruce, being prosecuted for obscene jokes. Like, and think about that in today's context. And that was kind of the article's point, was nobody thinks that a comedian standing up telling jokes is going to get prosecuted for it. But prior to 1968, they did. They did get prosecuted for jokes. That was considered obscenity. Now we're talking about whether or not kids gyrating sexually on a screen is obscene or not. Like if in 1970 or 1962, that wouldn't have been a discussion. Cuties would have been banned immediately. So, yeah, now this guy is saying that cuties should be upheld under free speech principles, and largely, I think it will be. But in 1962, that would be a completely different question. But here's the problem. Someone came in 1968 and made a really compelling argument that things are the way that they shouldn't be, and they should be something else. And so then it changed. That's why I try not to say, this is how something is, which I know can really piss people off, and I'm sorry for that. Sorry that can bother people, that I won't just say yes or no on a lot of questions, because even if it's yes right now, it might not be yes in a week or a month or a year, 2 years. Anyway, there's that. So, to those of you engaged in a 3-day long argument with Law Twitter, know this: you're providing me with much entertainment, and I see very pedantic and pathetic arguments coming from the other side, and it's great. However, don't waste your life or time just to provide me entertainment. It's my job to entertain you guys. So if you want to argue with them, do so at your own risk. But I'm going to tell you, oh, this was the final point about that secret. If I said something, there's a group of people that will disagree with it, no matter how much sense it makes. They don't like me. And because they don't like me, they don't like my opinions. That's fine. Just know it. Just know it. And in fact, like, this is actually part of my long con. On November 1st, I'm going to tweet out, Trump is bad, vote Biden. And I think I'll get half of law Twitter to vote for Trump. And it will be the greatest troll I've ever pulled. And like 13 whole votes for Trump will come in on that day. So there you go. That's the long con. That's the long con. But you know what's great? You know what's great? I actually agree with Law Twitter on one thing. They're like, don't get your legal advice from someone on the internet. Don't. Certainly not from Law Twitter. Jesus. Those are the dumbest people I've ever seen. Oh, and let me be very clear on Catherine Tewson. Okay? I spotted this early on. I tried to be nice to her and engage in conversation with her very early on in the Vic stuff. When I thought she was a genuine converser, right? She just doesn't know what's going on. Okay. And it took me about 2 tweets. And then I saw her style of discussion. And I said, okay, never mind. This isn't a genuine discusser. This is someone attempting to very wittily use the Socratic method to lead people who are trying to engage in a good faith discussion into their conclusion. Which, here's the thing with the Socratic method. Socratic method works in a teacher-student relationship where the teacher is respected as some sort of authority and the student buys in to the method that is going to be used to deliver answers or deliver a path to answers. So if I am your teacher and you are my student, you guys are not. That's not how this works, but hypothetically speaking, and I use the Socratic method to ask you questions to lead you to my learned conclusion, that's a contract. That's an agreement that we have where you're buying into that and you're going, okay, I'm going to engage these questions because the learned person is leading me in a direct path. If you have 2 people on even ground, right? Just anonymous people on the internet, and one person is just genuinely engaging in discussion and the other person is trying to speak in a Socratic way, they're attempting to manipulate the conversation by leading someone down a path of questions, whether or not they're asking those questions. And if they're in good faith discussing, they'll go ahead and engage with it. And then eventually they may realize that they've been led down this path that wasn't really relevant to what they were saying because they're just having a discussion over here and they're being basically baited into a conclusion with a it's like if I draw you a map with only one road and the destinations, like you have to get here and then you can only get there this way. And like you follow the map and then you get there and you find out there were other ways. I've deceived you in some way. That's kind of how a disingenuous discussion between a Socratic method and just a conversationalist on the other side goes. There's a deception going on. If you don't catch on to it, it's going to be a waste of your time, if nothing else. I saw this very early because I've had way too many Socratic method teachers throughout my stupid education to like be brought into it. I was like, okay, this person's an idiot. But That is part of the reason. This Jordan thing is the nail in the coffin. That Catherine Tucson is one of the worst people I have encountered online. And please remember that on this show, I interviewed a convicted pedophile. And that's my statement about that fat, nasty, ugly old crone. So there we go. All right, let's read some of these chats and then we'll get into the main topic. Sorry to rant for like 40 minutes, but that drama has been going on over, for the past 3 days over the weekend. So I figured I should address that it's still ongoing and talk about it a little bit. Okay, there's a 2 live stream series I did a long time ago. This is probably 2 years ago. The first one was how to catch and convict a predator or pedophile, I think, is the first title. And then shortly thereafter was an interview with him. Tito. Tito was his internet name. And the first video was going through his actual case. And the second video was him coming on to talk about, his experience. So, go check it out. They're old videos. Probably not a lot of views on them. Many of you have probably never seen them. But it was actually a really good interview, I thought. It was great. So, go check them out if you want. It's a good interview, good video. The video, I'll warn you. The first video where we go through his court documents may make you very, very angry. May make you very, very angry. So, the interview was not as enraging. It was humanizing, and that was kind of the point of it. But he brought up some interesting stuff, and I thought it was a productive interview. So, okay. Like watching Cuties. What he was watching was way worse than Cuties, pal. Way worse. Hey, what's up, RGE? RGE Raid. What's up, RGE viewers? Welcome. Speaking of RGE, Drexel is coming out on Wednesday. He will be out here on Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will probably be Drexel shows. And I'm going to hopefully have RGE on one of those shows if he's available. I got to send him a message. I just found out today. Angry Baneling, that would be in the full-on live stream playlist, I think. Probably down near the top because they're in reverse order. So hopefully we'll have Drexel and RGE on a show together. If you missed it this weekend, I did a show with Yellow Flash on Saturday. Yellow Flash, Tug, and RGE. That was great. Good fun. That's on Flash's channel. You can go check it out over there. Make sure you subscribe to Yellow Flash if you're not. I did D&D with Inver on Twitch, twitch.tv/Inverloke. That's the Daki Makura game on Saturday as well. And then on Sunday, I did D&D with Bibble, which is Reflex Save. And those are the adventures of Syl Blinton. So there you go. So anyway, that's Don the Gamer Guy. If you want to, go ahead, skip him. You don't like Drex? That's how it is. I'm not gonna stop you. All right. Oh, yeah. Super chats. Bad Vibe says, so what are we going to do tonight, Rackets? The same thing we do every night. Be late and gay, grift, drink whiskey, and talk law. I'm actually drinking gin right now. This is Heyman's Old Tom Gin. This is one of my favorite gins, and I just found it. At my local liquor store, which makes me so happy because it's Really a terrific gin. But that's what I'm drinking right now. I just finished a glass of it. Bad Vibe says, where do we draw the line on sins of the fathers? We are creating a culture that supports it. It needs to stop. Yeah, it needs to stop. It definitely, like, if our first wake-up call wasn't that NASCAR driver that got canceled because his dad said something before he was born that was racist, if that wasn't the indication that sins of our fathers needs to stop, I don't know what is. But yeah. I didn't Columbus America. And more importantly, I don't really care that he did either. All I know is I was born here and I live the life I have, not the life that someone else wants me to have or that someone else demands that I have. Don't care. Michael Tynan says, here, Nikki, take some wrong impressions. No, I can't have wrong impressions. Bad Vibe says, speaking of bird art and parody, just for laughs, maybe share a funny picture. I mean, a sea unicorn said it's transformative. I don't know what picture you're referring to. Oh, wait, the one you sent me? Yeah. No way. I'm not sharing anything. Those people will absolutely strike my channel. Absolutely. I'm not going to do that. Sorry. Let's see. And then we've got Siren Jag says, I told Tucson this exact thing also. I also told them to stop reading things into the TOS and go back and reading what the words actually say, not what they hope the words would say. I also told her she wasn't Bird Picasso and no one cares about her bird. Nope. No one does. No one will. Blink, who are you talking about? He wasn't fired from the looks of it, just lost a major sponsor. Oh, okay, the NASCAR guy. NASCAR guy. Got it. All right. So I have these in this order, and I guess we might stay near it. We might stay around this order, but we've got elections, Corona, and Princeton pays the woke toll. I might actually do Princeton pays the woke toll next. But first, we're going to start with some election stuff right here. And this is because I did a video calling out Ilhan Omar for ballot harvesting in Minnesota. Now, the GOP is accused of ballot harvesting in California. And this is the weird sort of like hypocrisy of both parties. And so I am neutral and unbiased and fair and balanced. So I have to, oh God, it's hot. So I want to talk about this. Because in Minnesota, what Ilhan Omar did is alleged to have done, I guess, through her agents, is against the law. And a lot of people are immediately defending it. No, it's great. So in California, the GOP allegedly has put up ballot deposit stations, which are illegal. They're unlawful under California law, apparently. So after complaining about voter fraud, the GOP commits election fraud. Now, I picked Slate very, very specifically, okay? Because look at what they did. After complaining about voter fraud, the California GOP commits election fraud. If this were reversed, Slate would say that what happened in Minnesota wasn't voter fraud or election fraud. And if the Democrats did this in California and the Republicans complained about it, they would say the opposite because Slate is partisan. Slate is partisan. Overtly left. That's just how they are. You cannot get around it. Let's take a peek. God, I hate this stupid bar up here. Go away. Hold on one second. I don't want that up top. Oh my God. All right. We'll figure it out. Stooge Muffin Stuffin says, did you see the trailer to the new Animaniacs? It looked like shit. They're bringing back Animaniacs. Don't fall for it. Don't watch it. That'll be trash. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Kaki Onsai says, apparently there's a rumor out there that the Minecrafting of the Trump protester in Denver may have been a warning to the organizer of the rally, who's a whistleblower related to the Benghazi debacle, another Clinton offing. Okay. Okay. John Patko, yes, there will be a Twitch stream tonight. We will be watching Victor Crowley, which is Hatchet 4. Victor Crowley. Okay, the Republican Party routinely insists that California is a hotbed of voter fraud. For proof, they point to the fact that voters are allowed to hand over their ballots to another person who submits them on their behalf. California GOP decries this practice as ballot harvesting and attacks its legality to delegitimize election results. This year, some California Republicans went further. Some GOP operatives set up ballot drop boxes that are falsely marked official, encouraging voters to place their ballots in these phony boxes. These Republicans appeared to have committed felony election fraud. Over the weekend, the Orange County Register and KCAL broke the news that these official-looking drop boxes had cropped up in Fresno. They'd cropped up, I guess? Los Angeles and Orange County outside campaign headquarters, churches, and businesses. The Fresno County Republican Party had a list of ballot collection box locations on its website that was removed sometime Monday morning. The list included multiple gun stores and firing ranges. On Friday, Jordan Tighe, a regional field director for the California Republican Party, tweeted, then deleted a photo of himself holding his ballot next to a box labeled official ballot drop-off box. Tighe said he was proud to have cast my vote for Michelle Steele, who's challenging Democratic Congressman Harley Rauda. He added, DM me for convenient locations to drop your ballot off at. No! No! Tighe! You're not a federal agent, but never end your sentence with a proposition. But the box in Tighe's photo was not official, even though it was plainly designed to look like one of California's actual ballot drop boxes. California GOP spokesman Hector Barajas acknowledged on Monday that the GOP owns the boxes but refused to say how many exist. Jared Cook, a pastor who set up an unofficial drop box outside his LA County Baptist Church, seemed to confirm the party's involvement when he told parishioners on Wednesdays that the local GOP picks up the ballots 2 to 3 times a week. Cook's church has previously hosted Republican candidates and protested COVID-19 restrictions. After Democrats triumphed in California's congressional elections 2 years ago, Republicans incorrectly blamed their losses on Democratic ballot harvesting, condemning the practice as shady and unethical. Yet this year, even as Donald Trump and many California Republicans continue to oppose the collection of ballots, some GOP candidates have embraced the strategy. Wait a minute, but what is... So, is it illegal to harvest the ballots? I mean, they say it may be a felony. Does Slate believe it should be illegal? I can't tell if they're pointing out a crime or a hypocrisy. And if the hypocrisy is 2 years ago they didn't like it, but this year they do, well, if it worked 2 years ago for the other party, maybe you do it this year. I don't know. Are Democrats similarly doing this? I don't know the answer to that. Let's see. David Valadeo, a Republican running for California's 21st congressional district, said in September that because ballot harvesting is legal, we're going to have to do it ourselves. So we've got our own teams on the ground doing it. Well, yeah, if it's legal, right? Like, isn't that the argument? I don't think ballot harvesting should be legal. I don't think so at all. Let's see what Slate continues to say, though. Valadeo previously stated that every Republican in the state has to be focused on ballot harvesting, adding that it is going to play a role in GOP campaigns. Mike Garcia, a Republican running for re-election in California's 25th congressional district, declared in April, how do you combat ballot harvesting? You do it yourself, right? It's legal. California Republican Party Chair Jessica Millen Patterson also said the official state party position was that no campaign should collect ballots, though she admitted that Republicans collected ballots during the March primary. Well, again, that's a policy stance versus a legal stance. Barajas, GOP spokesman, said on Monday that Democrats only seem to object to ballot harvesting when someone else does it. On Twitter, the California GOP has similarly defended the ballot box scheme as lawful ballot harvesting. On Twitter, the party claimed that Democrats legalize this practice and asked why people are all of a sudden surprised. There you go. Again, like in Minnesota, I want to be clear. I don't think this should be legal. I think it should be illegal. I think what they're doing in Minnesota should be illegal. It actually still is, but they're trying to make it legal. Even if it's legal, I think it's wrong. But of course they're going to do it. If it's legalized, they're going to do it. Why do you think they would do ballot harvesting that's been legalized? It's the same reason that ballot harvesting should be illegal. It's fucking effective. It's effective. And they know it. Of course it's effective. That's why it should be illegal. It's ripe for abuse. That's why it should be illegal. It also trolled critics of the scheme, suggesting that fake drop boxes are more secure than door-to-door ballot collection. I agree. I agree 100% that a fake drop box is more secure than door-to-door ballot collection. 1,000,000%. 1, there's not someone at your door. 2, it requires an affirmative act of you going to the ballot box and dropping it off. Of course that's more secure. National Republican Congressional Committee tweeted that Rauta is only okay with ballot harvesting when it's the Democrats' ballot harvesting. These comments suggest that Republicans do not understand how Democrats harvest ballots. California Democratic Party hires both volunteers and paid staff to collect completed ballots directly from voters. I don't like that. Personally, I don't like it. I know people who would fold for anybody who shows up at their door because they don't like to be bothered. I don't like it. If it's legal, do it. I don't think it should be legal. These individuals cannot be paid per ballot under state law. Okay. I mean, they are in Minnesota, like we saw that. But anyway, this is California, though. They often focus on underserved communities whose members may face hardships that make it difficult for them to personally return their own ballot, aka likely Democrat voters. Of course they do. And again, I'm not saying of course they do means of course they do. If I were a Democrat, that's where I would go. Obviously. Setting up drop boxes and falsely labeling them official, by contrast, is not legal ballot harvesting. It is likely a criminal offense. California law, let's see what this one says. Do we have a link to the code? Drop-off locations and Dropbox security. Okay, we'll read this. This might be hard to read, so I'll read it. An unstaffed Dropbox placed outdoors shall be securely fastened in a manner as to prevent moving or tampering. For example, fastening the Dropbox to concrete or an immovable object. B. An unstaffed Dropbox placed inside a building shall be secured in a manner that will prevent unauthorized removal. C. A staffed Dropbox shall be utilized in one of the following manners: securely fastened to a stationary surface or to an immovable object, placed behind a counter, or portable so it can be transported to a curbside area or mobile voting area. Okay. A staffed Dropbox shall be placed in an area that is inaccessible to the public and or otherwise safeguarded during the hours the Dropbox is not in use. If feasible, Dropboxes shall be monitored by a video security surveillance system or an internal camera that can capture digital images and or video. Video security surveillance system can include existing systems on county, city, or private buildings. All drop boxes shall be secured by a lock or sealable with tamper-evident seal. Only an elections official and designated ballot retriever shall have access to the keys and or combination of the lock. All right, so far, I haven't seen where it violates that statute, but let's read on. Let's read on. California law strictly regulates the creation and use of ballot boxes and bars private citizens from establishing them. Wait, where does it bar private citizens from establishing them? That's not true. Slate, that's just wrong. According to the statute you cited, that's not in there. Like, we just read through every word of the statute, and it doesn't say anything about only being established by, or not being established by private citizens. That's not in there at all. Moreover, the statute that allows third parties to collect ballots requires voters to formally designate. Okay, here we go. What? The statute is a Twitter link? Why would they, when they say statute, why does it link to Twitter? Oh, here we go. Wrote the law. Democrats voted for the legislation and Governor Jerry Brown signed into law. This procedure has been in place since 2016. Not sure why people are all... Oh, yeah. So here's the GOP responding to Jake Tapper. That is a strange link. Okay. Moreover, the statute that allows third party to collect ballots requires voters to formally designate the person who will return their ballot to election officials. This person must sign the ballot envelope and provide both their name and relationship to the voter. Republicans do not seem to have followed these rules when collecting ballots. What is this one? Another good link. Another great link by Slate. Good job, you fucking idiots. This is a problem, right? You can't even verify Slate's take on the law because they don't cite to the law. Like, this section doesn't say what they said. It doesn't say any of the claims that they've made. On Sunday, California Secretary of State Alex Padilla issued guidance to county election officials explaining that the fake ballot box scheme is prohibited by state law. Okay, let's see what the guidance is. All right. Our clarification of state law regarding the provision of unauthorized non-official vote by mail ballot drop boxes. Our office has been made aware of unauthorized non-official ballot drop boxes being used or having been proposed to be used at local political party offices, candidate headquarters, and churches throughout the state. Examples provided to our office include ballot boxes or containers labeled simply as ballot drop boxes, while others have been designated misleadingly as official ballot drop boxes. State law does not authorize the use of unauthorized non-official vote-by-mail ballot drop boxes. County election officials alone have the authority to designate the location, hours of operation, and number of drop boxes in the county, have a responsibility for ensuring compliance with all applicable statutes and regulations that guarantee the security and chain of custody of vote-by-mail ballots deposited. So again, they're concerned about chain of custody, but they're fine going door to door. Very, very strange. But here's the question. Where's the citation? Here we go. Authorized methods for return of vote by mail ballots. California Elections Code Section 3017 establishes a means by which vote by mail ballots can be returned. Was that this one? No, this is different. Return the ballot by mail or in person to the elections official who issued the ballot. Turn the ballot in person to a member of a precinct board at a polling place or vote center within the state. Turn the ballot to a vote-by-mail ballot drop-off location within the state that is provided pursuant to Election Code Section 3025 or 4005. Here's 3025? No? Okay, so let's see if we can find this. California Election Code 3025. Okay, let's do this. For purposes of this section, the following terms have the following meaning. Vote by mail ballot drop box means a secure receptacle established by a county or city and county elections official whereby a voted vote by mail ballot may be returned to the elections official from whom it was obtained. Vote by mail ballot drop off location means a location consisting of a secured vote by mail ballot drop box at which a voted vote by mail ballot may be returned to the elections official from whom it was obtained. On or before January 1st, 2017, the Secretary of State shall promulgate regulations establishing guidelines based on best practices for security measures and procedures, including but not limited to chain of custody, pickup times, proper labeling, and security of vote by mail ballot drop boxes that a county elections official may use if the county elections official establishes one or more vote by mail ballot drop off locations. Okay, so that establishes these terms. Okay, so these are the regulations promulgated here. So these are the regulations that have been promulgated in reference to this. So then what was the other one? California Election Code Section 4000. Nope. Go. All right, so notwithstanding Section 4000 or any other law on or after January 1st, the counties of Calaveras, Inyo, Madera, Napa, Nevada, Orange, Sacramento, San Luis, San Mateo, Santa Clara, Shasta, Sierra, Stutter, Tulum, and except as provided in Section 4007, any county may conduct any election as an all-mailed ballot election if all of the following apply. Okay. At least 2 ballot drop-off locations are provided within the jurisdiction where the election is held. The number of ballot drop-off locations are fixed in a manner so there's at least 1 ballot drop-off location provided for every 15,000 registered voters. Is this Nope, this is a vote by mail ballot drop box. These are different. Within the jurisdiction where the election is held, as determined on the 88th day before the day of the election, whichever results in more ballot drop-off locations. Purposes of this subparagraph, a vote center that includes an exterior ballot drop box counts only as a single ballot drop-off location. Ballot drop-off locations shall comply with the regulations adopted by subdivision B of 3025. So that's this one. Okay, this is important. Stick with me. The ballot drop-off location provided for under this section consists of a secure, accessible, and locked ballot box located as near as possible to established public transportation routes, is able to receive voted ballots. All ballot drop-off locations shall be open at least during regular business hours and beginning not less than 28 days before the election and on the day of the election. At least 1 ballot drop-off location shall be accessible, secured, exterior drop box that is available for a minimum of 12 hours per day, including regular business hours. 2A. The county elections official permits a voter residing in the county to do any of the following at a vote center. These are vote centers. 3A on the day of the election from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. inclusive, and each day 3 days before the election for a minimum of 8 hours per day. At least 1 vote center is provided for every 10,000 registered voters. That's vote centers. Minimum of 2 vote centers. Okay, did you guys see what happened here? These aren't illegal. These aren't illegal. All right. Stick with me now. Stick with me now, okay? So, except as provided in 4007. Let's check this real quick. Are you serious? Hold on. Love that they linked me to fucking Westlaw. Let's see. Here we go. On or after January 1st, the County of Los Angeles may conduct any election as a vote center election if all the following apply. Voters residing in a letter. This is the same shit. It's just more dense in LA than it is anywhere else. Okay. Stick with me here. This is going to be mildly irritating. Okay? But on or after January 1st, 2020, any county may conduct any election as an all mailed-in ballot election if all of the following apply. At least 2 ballot drop-off locations are provided within the jurisdiction where the election is held, or the number of ballot drop-off locations are fixed, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we've got this stuff. For the purposes of this subparagraph, a vote center that includes an exterior ballot drop box counts only as a single ballot drop-off location. Ballot drop-off locations shall comply with the regulations adopted pursuant to subdivision B of section 3025. If we go back to section 3025, this is subdivision A. Okay? These are vote by mail ballot drop-off locations and ballot drop boxes. But B says on or before January 1st, the Secretary of State shall promulgate regulations establishing guidelines based on best practices for security measures and procedures, including but not limited to chain of custody, pickup times, proper labeling, and all of that stuff. All right? That goes back to this, which is the drop-off location and drop box security, which is 2135. So, it requires they comply with subdivision B. Subdivision B gives these regulations, and here are those regulations, which we read first. There you go. They can put the boxes up. Show me they can't. All they'll have to say is, we're not doing subdivision A boxes. We don't even label them that. That's a vote by mail ballot drop box or a vote by mail ballot drop off location. What are these being called? These are just being called what? Official ballot drop box. Doesn't say vote by mail ballot drop box or drop off location. Doesn't say anything about election officials. Here, does it say anything here? Let's see. Including but not, so these are proper measures, best practices for security measures and procedures, including but not limited to chain of custody, pickup times, proper labeling, and security of vote by mail ballot drop boxes that a county elections official may use if the county elections official establishes one or more vote by mail ballot drop off locations. There you go. But again, this simply states that the ballot drop-off location shall comply with the regulations adopted here, which are these regulations. So there's the regulation scheme for a ballot drop box or ballot drop-off location. That's it. Right here. As long as they follow this section, they're golden. So, where is it? Is this thing? Okay. Yeah, return the ballot to a vote-by-mail ballot drop-off location within the state that is provided pursuant to Elections Code Section 3025 or 4005. That's a thing they can do. Designate a person to do it for them to 3025 or 4005. Gotcha. All right, here we go. This is a different one. Elections Code Section 3011, A911, and 3017 govern ballot collection. Pursuant to Elections Code 3011, A11, person to whom a voter entrusts their vote-by-mail ballot to return to the county elections official must include their signature on the return vote-by-mail envelope as a person authorized to return the ballot. That individual is also required to provide their name and relationship to the voter. Great. But if they just go drop it off themselves, that should be fine. When a voter drops off a ballot in an unauthorized, non-official vote-by-mail drop box, no designated person would be signing as required by state law. I don't know that that's required by state law. I gotta look up another law. Okay. The identification envelope shall contain all the following. Okay. Except at a primary election for partisan office, notwithstanding any other provision of law, the vote-by-mail voter's party preference may not be stamped or printed on the identification envelope. Notwithstanding paragraphs 9 to 11, inclusive of subdivision A, a ballot shall not be disqualified solely because the person authorized to return it did not provide on the identification envelope his or her name relationship to the voter's signature. They literally wrote the exception in the law. It's right there. It's right there. The ballot can't be disqualified solely because of the thing that they said that has to happen. I mean, come on now. And this is written by the Attorney General, this letter. A person designated by the voter to return their vote-by-mail ballot envelope to the county elections official within the required time period by law must provide their name, signature, and relationship to the voter. But if they don't, it can't be disqualified. You made it legal. You wrote it in. Additionally, 3017A2 states in full, a vote-by-mail voter who is unable to return the ballot may designate another person to return the ballot to the elections official who issued the ballot to the precinct board at a polling place or vote center within the state, or to a vote-by-mail ballot drop-off location within the state that is provided pursuant to Section 3025 or 4005. It's, again, under the law, 4005, person designated shall return the ballot in person or put the ballot in the mail no later than 3 days after receiving it from the voter or before the close of the polls on election day, whichever time period is shorter. Notwithstanding subdivision D, a ballot shall not be disqualified solely because it was returned or mailed more than 3 days after the designated person received it from the voter, provided that the ballot is returned by the designated person before the close of polls on election day. Okay, so that's that. Again, I can't see the law violation here. I can't do that. I can't see it here. The following references are only a few of the numerous official vote-by-mail ballot Dropbox requirements that are designated to ensure the safety and security of vote-by-mail ballots. They additionally provide the vote-by-mail ballot retrieval chain of custody requirements and voter notification requirements. So we're at 3025. Again, we've already read this entire statute. The regulations promulgated by Secretary of State's office provides extensive requirements for the design, use, and security of vote-by-mail ballot drop boxes. See generally 2130 to 2138. Now, in fairness, we've only read 2135. These requirements include but are not limited to the following. Required construction from durable material able to withstand vandalism, removal, and inclement weather, and with specific design and function requirements. Staffed and unstaffed drop boxes must have an opening slot that is not large enough to allow ballots to be tampered with or removed. Drop boxes must have a secure ballot container placed within the drop box that would provide physical evidence if unauthorized access has taken place. Each drop box must use a unique identifying number that is readily identifiable to the designated county ballot retrievers. Must be clearly and visibly marked as an official ballot drop box and include all required information in various languages required by state and federal law. Again, I think there's two different classifications here. One is official and one is not. And vote by mail ballot drop boxes must comply with accessibility requirements. Here's the security requirements that were 2135. We read that. Additionally, all public service announcements and official information from state and county elections advise and direct voters to visit here. Criminal penalties. In addition to the prohibition of providing non-official vote by mail ballot drop boxes, any person, not including county or state election officials, providing a drop box, whether or not it is identified as official or unofficial, may be in violation of Elections Code 18575, which states every person is guilty of a felony and on conviction shall be punished by imprisonment pursuant to subdivision H of section 1170 of the Penal Code for 2, 3, or 4 years, who at any election 1, without having first been appointed and qualified, acts as an election officer, and B, not being an election officer, performs or discharges any of the duties of an election officer in regard to the handling, counting, or canvassing of any ballots. They may be in violation of that because it's really, really hard to say that they are acting as an election official in this case. Accordingly, providing any unauthorized or non-official vote by mail ballot drop box may constitute a violation of Elections Code section 18575 and other laws. They say may because I don't think it actually does. I don't think it actually does. Acting as an election officer and setting up a ballot drop box are two different things. Very different things. Okay, let's get through this real quick. So here we go. Let's see. Okay. So Alex Padilla, Secretary of State Alex Padilla, it wasn't the Attorney General, it was Secretary of State, issued guidance to county elections officials explaining that the fake ballot box scheme is prohibited by state law. He added that participants may be guilty of election fraud, a felony offense, punishable by 2 to 4 years in prison. In an email on Monday, Padilla told me he is coordinating with local officials to address the multiple reports of unauthorized ballot drop boxes. He urged voters to never hand your ballot over to someone you don't trust. Wait, I can't. That means I can't turn in my ballot ever. I don't trust any of these people. Let's see. Where were we? Padilla, along with Attorney General Xanier Becerra, also sent cease and desist order to the California Republican Party, as well as the county Republican parties of Fresno, LA, and Orange County, demanding that they remove their fake drop boxes. At a Monday press conference, Becerra warned that some Republican officials have indicated that they may not be prepared or willing to remove those boxes. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Your law permits all of those ballots to be counted. Every single one of them. You wrote the law that way. Republicans have spent years accusing California Democrats of voter fraud without presenting an iota of evidence. Now they appear to have proved that election fraud is a real problem by committing it themselves. It's funny because this is how it always seems to go. It always seems to go this way. Republicans see what Democrats do, blame them for it. Democrats say, nah, fam, it's legal. And then the Republicans do it, and then the Democrats whine about it. And Republicans end up getting prosecuted sometimes. It's very interesting. That's what happened in the last election, I believe. There's like one in it. And again, the lunacy of saying there was one instance of voter fraud in the 2016 election. And it was one woman voting twice for Trump, like in 2 different counties, and that was it. That's the only one. That's the one we got. That's the only one that occurred in a land of 120 million votes. That is definitely not the only case of voter fraud, and it's stupid to think otherwise. But yeah, no, harvest them. I don't care. I don't think anybody should. But I'm not in California. I can't stop them, and it's not going to matter. The Democrats will harvest more ballots than Republicans could even dream of. Even if it were all fair, the Democrats will win California, period. So I don't think it matters in any real sense there at all. But it is funny to see this because they're complaining about hypocrisy, but to do so, they have to engage in hypocrisy. That's weird. It's like a meta hypocrisy going on. Ugh. Delete some of these things. All right, we got one more election thing to talk about here. This isn't really I guess this is more. This isn't really election stuff. This is Corona. So never mind. I'm gonna do that in a minute. I want to talk about Princeton paying the woke toll. Princeton will pay nearly $1 million in back pay to female professors in sweeping discrimination settlement. Princeton is paying the woke toll, and I couldn't be happier. Pay those chicks all the money in the world. Your fault. It's your fault. You wanted this. You wanted it. Now you got it. Princeton is engaged in pay discrimination because they're paying the woke toll. They're paying for it. Now they may deny it. They may say that it's not true. Let's see what they say. Following allegations of pay discrimination from the Department of Labor, Princeton University has agreed to pay close to $1 million in back pay to female professors. The Department of Labor's Office of Federal Contract Compliance Programs found that between 2012 and 2014, 106 women in full professor positions at Princeton were paid less than their male counterparts. No. No. How dare you, Princeton? Though the findings were only preliminary, the university and the office reached an early resolution this month, with the school agreeing to pay $925,000 in back pay and at least $250,000 in future salary adjustments. Now we've got $1 million spread across 106 people. We've got roughly 10 grand disparity in pay rates. So, right? Is that the math? Is that the math? Calculator. 1 million divided by 100 is 10 grand a year. We're talking about like a 6% pay disparity at the scales of a Princeton professor. What is the average salary of a Princeton professor? Okay. Average salary of a Princeton University professor is $213,769 per year. So we're talking about a 5%, right? 5% pay disparity on average. Oh yeah, and it's over 3 years. So we're talking like a 1% pay disparity? Well, I guess 1.5%. All right, so here we go. And at least $250,000 in future salary adjustments. In addition to the money, the university has also agreed to conduct statistical analyses to determine further significant disparities against female professors, as well as pay equity training for its staff. The Department of Labor began its review of Princeton nearly a decade ago. Ben Chang, a spokesman for the university, said in a statement, after pausing the review in 2016, they reopened it in 2017 for unexplained reasons, he said. With this agreement, Princeton has not admitted liability in the investigation and continues to assert that it complied with both the letter and spirit of the law. Are you ready? Are you ready for Princeton's excuse? Are you ready for it? I bet you can't guess what it is. Quote, the university contested the OFCCP's allegation because it was based on a flawed statistical model that grouped all full professors together regardless of department and thus bore no resemblance to how the university actually hires, evaluates, and compensates its faculty, Chang said. Their argument, Princeton, their argument is that men and women in these professor roles have different jobs that pay differently. Oh, no. Oh, no, Princeton. I don't think you understand what you're doing here. We've been saying this about the 23% myth the whole time. The whole time. We know it's bogus. It's sad that you don't until now realize that it's bogus. Enjoy it. Eat it up. Fire all of them. Fire all the men. Who cares? Who cares? Fire all the men. Hire only women. Then you can pay them less. Because there's no comparative man to pay. Hire only women and one male janitor. Do that. And then just pay all the women the same as the male janitor. I just thought this was funny. That's why I pulled it up. This is just funny. There's nothing else. This is just a waste. It's a waste. $1 million to Princeton is nothing. It is nothing. This would be like you having the government crawling through everything you own, doing an analysis of all the things you may have done wrong, and at the end of the day saying, we need $100. Like, I guess. Maybe even 50. Actually, what's Princeton's endowment? Princeton endowment. Okay, Princeton endowment is $25.9 billion. Let's do this. 25.9. Oh, wait, no. 25. Divided by, what was it? It was 112,500, something like that. Wait, I did that right? No, I did that wrong. Hold on. Sorry. I'm terrible at this. 925 plus 250. Okay. Whoops. No. 250,000. Okay, we got $1,175,000. Now we divide that by $25,900,000,000. We get 4 to the negative 5. Wait, 4, with 5. So 1. So 4 zeros in front of that, which means 0.04%. So for most people, that'd be like $20. 0.04%. So of all the money you have, or take your yearly income or whatever, and do 0.04%. What's the median income? We'll do 55,000 times 0.04. Wait, 0.0004. Yeah. $22. If you make 55 grand a year, it'd be like giving the government $22. That's it. So there you go. That's how hard Princeton got slapped for this. And they're complaining about it. Listen here, Donut Swan. I'm gonna read your comment last. Anyway, I just thought this was a funny story. They are paying the woke toll, but this was the punchline. Right? This doesn't reflect reality, though. It doesn't reflect reality. These women are doing different jobs than these men. It's not fair. Why do we have to pay? Why do we have to pay extra for people who are doing different jobs? It's not real. Sorry, buddy. You built this world. You trained these people. You trained them. You put them into the government jobs that they have. You made it this way. It's your fault. By the way, the women that you hired are probably the ones teaching this. Fire them too. Fire everybody. Holy God. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, so the next stories I have, these are about Corona Chan. They're political stories. One is a fact check and the other is Wisconsin. This is bad news for Wisconsin. So let's do the fact check one first. So factcheck.org, that very reputable place, is criticizing a video showing arrests at a protest, not a church service. Okay? All right. You know it's good if you got factcheck.org. You know that they're going to fairly do this. So quick take. A tweet shared by President Donald Trump mischaracterizes a video that purports to show Americans being arrested for holding outdoor church services. The video actually shows a demonstration in Idaho against a public health order regarding COVID-19 requirements held by a church in a city hall parking lot. Okay. So, outdoor church service, which is demonstration held by a church outdoors, but in a city hall parking lot. Let's evaluate their analysis here. Full story. A church protest against a local public health order in Moscow, Idaho, population 25,702, has gotten national attention since President Donald Trump retweeted a video from the event with a claim that falsely suggested it showed Americans being arrested for holding outdoor church services. I wonder if the video is going to show Americans being arrested at an outdoor church service. Let's go on. The president added his own comment to his retweet saying, "Dems want to shut your churches down permanently. Hope you see what is happening. Vote now." That is an opinion of the president. That is not a fact statement that can be valued in any sort of way. You don't have to believe it. I don't fully believe it. I think that's some campaign rhetoric. But I do see a lot of Democrats actively shutting down church services during Corona. I saw that a lot early on. And there's reason to believe that maybe some Democrats out there do want to shut down church services at any opportunity. I don't know if they do. I don't care. That's the president's opinion. Is it a fact? I don't know. Can it be fact checked? Probably not, but they're going to try. Okay. Neither the original claim nor the president's comment is true. We'll start with the video. Trump retweeted a post from Cliff Maloney, the president of a Texas-based libertarian group, that included a video of a man being handcuffed in a parking lot while a group sings in the background. Maloney wrote, "If you would have told me in 2019 that we were just 1 year away from Americans being arrested for holding outdoor church services, I would have thought you to be insane. This is one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen. Pray for America." But that misrepresents what the video actually shows. The event was not an outdoor church service. It was a demonstration against a local order requiring people to wear face masks or stay 6 feet apart in public to slow the spread of COVID-19. On September 21st, Moscow City Council had voted unanimously to extend that order until January 5th. Lada County, where Moscow is located, is at minimal risk for COVID-19, according to the Public Health District in north central Idaho. But average daily cases in the county rose from about 3 at the beginning of September to about 23 at the beginning of October. They're getting all the way up into the double digits of cases. They're very, 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 very in trouble here. 2 days after the council vote on September 23rd, Christchurch and Moscow. Now, mind you, they weren't at 23 yet on September 23rd. That's the beginning of October. 2 days after the council vote on September 23rd, Christchurch and Moscow posted on its Facebook page an invitation to gather at City Hall for a flash psalm sing. The invitation said, "We are asking folks to please not wear a mask." Do we have this? Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. Here we go. Psalm sing in Moscow. A number of people are gathered at City Hall this afternoon at 4:45 for what we are calling a flash psalm sing. We will sing 3 songs and the doxology and then out. If you don't know what the doxology is a recitation of Christian faith beliefs. We believe in God the Father, we believe in God the Son, we believe in the Holy Spirit. Blah 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 blah. It's put into song in by several different artists in several different ways. Okay, so you're sing 3 songs and the doxology and then out. We're asking folks to please not wear a mask. We hope to do the same thing next Wednesday as well. This event was organized by Christ Church, but everyone is welcome. That sounds like a fucking church service. A short one, sure. But that's just straight up worship service. Like if you go into a Protestant church, especially like an evangelical Protestant church, the beginning of the service where they sing the songs is called the worship service. And then the next part of the service is distinct from the worship service. They happen at the same place and in sequence, but the worship service is the beginning part of it. That is a church service. And many, many, many people could go to a worship service and consider that the entirety of their spiritual engagement for the day. Like they don't necessarily need to sit and listen to the preacher's homily or message, depending on your denomination. Some people don't engage in that way. Some people engage in the worship aspect of it, and then they even tune out, or some people leave for the rest of it because it's not engaging to their faith or speaking to them personally. This is okay. I would call this a church service 100%. Because if my kids asked what I was doing, the kids were going to go to a worship service. What are we going to do? We're going to sing some praise songs. Oh, okay. Cool. There you go. All right. Before the demonstration, city workers drew marks on the pavement that were 6 feet apart so that singers could safely participate. The city had tried to provide an avenue for this event to take place, Moscow Police Chief James Fry told factcheck.org in a phone interview. Also, before the event began, officers told the organizer that police would enforce the public health order, he said, and the organizer repeated that warning to the participants. Quote, as soon as he said it, everybody actually moved closer together, Fry said. Yeah, they did. Fuck you. Fuck off. Eat shit. I don't know how else to say it. Fuck you. Look, we go to a grocery store or something, I'm going to stand 6 feet away from you. Sure. I don't know you. I'm around my friends, my family, my neighbors, my church. Probably not going to stand 6 feet away from them. We hold similar values. And those values will devalue what the state values. We don't value a 6 foot distance. Maybe we'll all get sick and die. Joke's on us. Joke is on us. All right. Police issued tickets to 5 people for violating the city's ordinance, Fry said, and they charged 2 of those people for resisting arrest, and those people refused to identify themselves. Among those ticketed was Gabriel Wrench, co-host of a political Christian podcast and Republican candidate for a county office. Wrench is a man being arrested in the viral video. Well, so wait, he was arrested for attending a church service? Did I hear that right? Factcheck.org? He was arrested for attending a church service. Okay, got it. Thank you. Okay, I'm waiting for your analysis. 2 days after the incident, Wrench was a guest on Glenn Beck's radio show, where he described the event as a protest, as kind of a worshipful protest to the public health order. Glenn Beck was later seen crying. Still, the falsehood that the video shows Americans being arrested for holding outdoor church services continues to spread on social media. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Maybe you don't agree with the framing of it, but Americans were arrested for holding an outdoor church service. Like, that literally happened. As for Trump's claim that Dems want to shut your churches down permanently, that's not true either. And listen, look at their source. The Democratic Party platform for 2020 includes a section on supporting faith and service, which says religious freedom is a core American value and a core value of the Democratic Party. Does religious freedom feel like a core value of the Democratic Party in 2020? Does anyone on earth actually believe that? I'm not saying you have to hold religious freedom in any regard, but does anybody believe the Democrat Party, not an individual Democrat in a red state, for example, but the party actually holds religious freedom as a core American value? I don't think so at all. Fuck that. That's the opposite of their platform in everything but the words right there in that sentence. And that's fine. That's actually fine. I don't mind that they hold that. And I don't mind if there are secularists who watch the show. I know many of you are, and that's great. I don't mind if you hold that value in any way. Have it. Just don't lie about it. Like, just don't lie about it. It's crazy to think that Democrats are honestly still pushing this. Why bother? Why bother? Your party doesn't even value that. Like, your voters don't actually want you to value religious freedom in this way. What they want is freedom from religion. And that's acceptable too. That's fine. But they don't value religious freedom in the context of actual religion. They value religious freedom in the context of freedom from actual religion. And again, that's a reasonable take. That's reasonable to assume that that's what the First Amendment says. There's lots of supportive arguments for that proposition. And in many ways, I kind of agree. I personally hold that a faith value is important to individual people. I think you should have one. I think it helps mold and sculpt your life. I think it gives you basis beyond your own narcissistic impression of what's right and wrong. I think it's good. I would never hold someone to mine. So I think that the freedom from that is a valid First Amendment principle. But don't lie about it. Just say that. Just say that. We believe that the freedom of religious expression includes and is highly focused on a freedom from religious influence on the state. Just say it. Just say it that way. Go ahead. All right. Democrats will protect the rights of each American for the free exercise of his or her own religion. Bake the cake, bigot. Bake the cake, bigot. Stamp the marriage license, bigot. But they'll defend your religious expression. Oh yeah, they really fucking care. It will be the policy of the Democratic administration to advocate for religious freedom throughout the world. Sure. Sure. Remember that today, Amy Coney Barrett. Coney Barrett? Coney, is she a hot dog or is she a Comey? Is she an FBI or a hot dog? I think she's a hot dog. Amy Coney Barrett spent the entire day answering for her religious beliefs. Well, sort of. From Republicans trying to bait Democrats into talking about it. But the Democrats doing everything they can not to publicly, in the confirmation hearings, talk about her religious beliefs. all of the articles leading up to today were about her religious beliefs. Probably even one by, well, Fact Check doesn't write articles, but Slate, I'm sure. But the Democrats have been really struggling to avoid that topic. People are saying Amy Coney Barrett's a smash. Let's check. I'm gonna need a smash or pass rating from the chat. Let's see if we can get a good picture of her. Not in a mask or some ninja suit. We got to get a fair smash or pass. So just give me a second. Oh, this will be embarrassing. Okay. I guess I got to just pick one of these. These are terrible pictures of her, by the way. It's like she dresses conservatively or something. What kind of ridiculous conservative Catholic female judge dresses conservatively? That's absurd. Okay, I need to just pick one. This is ridiculous. Okay, hold on. I'll pick one for the hearing today. We'll just go with a very plain picture of her at the hearing today. Okay? I think that's fair. Here we go. This has a little bit of a body shot. No. I don't want to open that. Oh my God. Here we go, guys. Here she is. That's Amy Coney Barrett. We need a smash or pass rating on her. And then, after the smash or pass rating on her, gun to your head, her or Sotomayor. We're getting pass. We're getting some smashes. We can see who's into the older ladies. This is the tell. I plead the fifth. This is that Nancy Pelosi 2 millennia ago. She reminds me of like an old Jenna Fisher from The Office. Yeah, her or Sotomayor, her or Elena Kagan, or her or Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Before and after death. Is there anyone out there who would take Ginsburg after death over ACB? That's the real question. Why are you stealing Ralph's gimmick? Did Ralph do smash or pass on her? I don't know. I don't watch Ralph's show very often. Someone in the chat said it. I'm stealing their gimmick. All right. Anyway, this is degenerate. This is degenerate. Okay, but yeah, her religion doesn't seem to be able to be free. RBG after death is a game changer now. Oh my goodness. Ralph does it on every woman. Oh, I didn't realize that Ralph had the exclusive rights to smash or pass. I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. Okay. Would I? No. Hard pass. Hard pass. Way too Catholic for me. And way too devout. She'd be popping out kids at 70. Okay, so this is the latest from Wisconsin. Judge strikes down attempt to stop mask mandate as cases rise in Wisconsin. So if you remember, the mandate in Wisconsin, or the emergency or whatever, that was declared over. Like, the governor got slapped down by the Supreme Court, but he just went ahead and did another one. I'm just messing with you, Sam. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Don't worry about it. All right. So the governor's order got shut down in Wisconsin. Then he just did another one because he decided he could. And guess what? The Wisconsin judge has agreed with him. Wisconsin judge has struck down an injunction request filed Monday by state Republicans to end Democratic Governor Tony Evers' mask mandate. The decision comes as Wisconsin continues to see a rise in coronavirus cases and deaths. St. Croix County Judge R. Michael Waterman ruled against the conservative Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty legal firm, which sued Evers, contending that he overstepped his authority by issuing consecutive executive orders that required all residents to wear a mask outside their home. So his first order got shut down, and then he just went ahead and did it again. Bad Vibe says, never smash a judge. They will hold you in contempt. No. Listen here. If I ever get to judgeship, Lady Raggets has a free smash. Whenever she wants. I will never hold her in contempt. What did she say today? She created a word. I don't know, etymology, right? That's the creation of the science of, or the study of the creation of words. All my etymologists out there, Lady Rackets created a word today. She created a word today. Let me think of it real quick. Had a couple, so I've got to make sure I got it right. All right. Here we go. It's prepper-fucking-ration. Prepper-fucking-ration. Okay? Which seems like a simple thing. But I will describe what prepper-fucking-ration is. Okay? Prepper-fucking-ration is having a box of Kleenex on both sides of the bed. Okay? Because you gotta have prepper-fucking-ration. You gotta have it. So, that is very, very important. Otherwise, messes will follow. Messes will follow. So there you go. So there you go. That's your Lady Racketsism for today. It's going to say carrying 4 rubbers. No, we don't believe in that. We go full Catholic on that. All right, back to this. He ruled against the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, sued Evers, contending that he overstepped his authority by issuing consecutive executive orders that required all residents to wear a mask outside their homes. Just outside your homes. Not even in stores, just outside your homes. Waterman ruled that the law gives the governor broad discretion to act whenever conditions in the state constitute a public health emergency. Quote, nothing in the statute prohibits the governor from declaring successive states of emergency. Instead, the statute allows a declaration, quote, if the governor determines that a public health emergency exists, he wrote in his decision. This is important. You've got to vote. You've got to vote local. You've got to vote local. Okay? Can't just vote for a president. Can't just vote for a governor. You need local legislators who will address this shit. And they got a big wake-up call. Right? You've seen the surprise anal videos. That's what happened to all Republican Congresses across the country with Democrat governors this year. That's what happened. Like that. Just like that. When those orders came in and they realized that they couldn't stop them, you've got to vote local. They can't stop the governors from doing this. Governors just determine that there's a state of emergency with no congressional oversight as to how long that emergency happens, and then they get just to determine another one. So if they get struck down, they just say, okay, another one. Whitmer in Michigan's doing it. All Democrat governors across the country are going to do it through the election. All of them. All of them are going to do it through the election. Why? Because they're trying to blame the coronavirus fallout on the administration. Many people will fall for that. They'll say, oh yeah, well, things are bad for me right now. I don't have a job. I got laid off from coronavirus. The government should have helped me out. If they can keep economies closed, if they can keep people scared, if they can keep people thinking that somehow Trump had something to do with their masks, if they can do that, and remember that just by listening to this show, which I am not a political commentator, like I am not educating you on politics, but just by listening to this show, you are more educated than the average Cardi B listener, for example. The amount of information that the average American voter has on the reality, the legal and political realities of their situation is abysmal. It's scary. Think of the dumbest person that you know in regards to politics. They're average at worst. At worst. So when I say that a Democrat governor shutting down an entire state for the purposes of electioneering will be effective because most of the voters are at best the dumbest person you've ever met in regards to politics. And at worst, they get their politics literally from a rap song. It's not an exaggeration. They will not know. They will not know that their governors are doing this to them. And the governors know it. They know it. They have to keep you scared. They have to keep you thinking that somehow the Trump administration has done this. And if they do those two things, they accomplish a political goal. They accomplish a political goal. Will far exceed anything we can do. So they will shut down their state time after time after time. They don't care about your jobs. And this includes Republican governors, by the way. Any governor who shuts down your state, this is not limited to Democrats. I'm not like that. If a Republican cuck governor will shut down your economy, fuck them. Primary them. Get them out. Get them out. Anyone who will shut down your economy, will shut down your livelihood over coronavirus, needs to be out of office. And you've got to vote. You've got to vote to do it. Get them out. Doesn't matter the party distinction. Doesn't matter if every other policy they have is good. Listen, fam. Listen, guys. party distinction and policies matter insofar as they affect you. The biggest effect on most people's lives is where they work. If the decisions of your elected officials cut your job, the decisions of your elected officials, not your own mistakes, not your own screw-ups, but the decisions of elected officials interfere with your ability to earn money, to pay your mortgage, to pay your rent, to pay your credit cards, to buy that Xbox or whatever it is, doesn't matter what level of income you're at. If an elected official's decisions impact your ability to work, get them out. That is not their role. It is not their job. That is an undue interference on your life. They have no place in your ability to work. If they shut down your place of employment over a virus, get them out, hang them, tar and feather them, whatever you need to do. Get them out. They don't belong in office. Think about this. Why do they want you out of a job? So they can give you a stimulus check. Oh, it's great. Stimulus. Believe me, I want more Trump bucks. Probably won't get any. Even if they pass it, I probably won't get any. But I want more Trump bucks. Doesn't matter. Stimulus check to the people they kicked out of their jobs? Fuck off. I'd rather work. I'd rather work than have a one-time check that's fickle. That's dependent on how well the political winds are blowing. That stimulus check is designed to not... It's designed to have you not remember that they just took away your job. That's what the stimulus check is designed for. That's why both parties want it. They don't want you to remember that you're not working, that it's hard to pay bills, that buying Super Mario All-Stars is a question. It's a question. You don't just go on, yeah, I can put 50 down on this. You have to go, can I put 50 down on this? Can I make this a big expense? Do I have the money available? Want you to have the Trump bucks so you go, yeah, I can put 50 down on this as if I were employed. That's what they want. Republicans and Democrats. Look, you can support Republicans who support the stimulus. You can support Democrats who support the stimulus. Don't support Republicans or Democrats who support the stimulus and support a shutdown of your job. Fuck them. Don't let them buy you off, because that's the goal. That's the game. If we just buy them off, they'll forget they're out of work because of us. They'll forget they're out of work because of us. All right. Rick Essenberg, President and General Counsel of Will. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to reach out to Will and see if they'd have someone come on and talk about their efforts. I want to talk to these organizations that are suing governors. Which was hired by state Republicans to file a suit, said in a statement he would appeal the ruling. Good. Good. It is with regret that the judge held that the governor of the state of Wisconsin can rule the state by decree for an unlimited amount of time with the acquiescence of the legislature, he said in a statement. It's true. Look at this guy. This is Rick Essenberg. He's got the one eye lower than the other. This guy looks like he will just kick the shit out of anybody who opposes him. I like him already. I want to talk to him. Rick, hit me up, buddy. Hit me in DMs. Hit me in DMs. I want to talk to you. Governor Evers said that the judge's ruling would be crucial in fighting the pandemic. Oh, fuck you. Masks outside your home is overbroad, and you know it, you bitch. You know it. If I go to a park alone, I don't need a fucking mask. Eat my anus. God, I'm so fucking tired of judges interjecting their personal... Judges are stupid. let's get this clear. Ty says judges are failed lawyers. Whatever. Maybe that's the case. Judges are just idiots. They happen to know something about the law. That's it. Do you think the judge has any idea about the pandemic? Like, do you think the judge is a qualified health professional? If you do, don't. They're an idiot. He probably has a liberal arts degree like you do. He probably has no idea what he's doing. He's certainly not a virologist or an epidemiologist, because if he was a virologist or an epidemiologist, he wouldn't be a judge, because they make more money. Last Thursday, the state recorded a record number of new cases, 3,274, according to the state health department. On Monday, it recorded 1,965 more. Who cares? I don't care. Let me go on record. I don't care if you get COVID. I don't care if I get COVID. I don't care if anybody I know gets COVID. I hope they recover. I don't care if you get COVID. I don't care if you get the flu. I don't care if you get tuberculosis. I don't care if you somehow get polio. I don't care. Like, you got sick. I'm sorry. You got sick. That sucks. When I have a cold or flu or cancer, rip Jim, I'm sorry that you got sick. That sucks. But I don't care. I don't want policy dictated by your sickness. Sorry, fuck off and die. Or live, please. I'd prefer it if you lived. That may sound cold, but don't dictate policy by someone getting sick. It's ridiculous. People get sick all the time. All the time. Various diseases, various illnesses. We can't dictate policy on people getting sick. Because if you try and legislate out the policy, you try and legislate out the sickness, they'll get a different one. They'll get a different one. No, Jim's not dead. He's just got all of the cancer. More cancer than anybody ever needs. Jim's got extra cancer. Someone go take Jim's cancer. I don't want anybody to die ever of anything, but people will. And I can't be consistent and say you can't legislate gun policy on mass shootings if I then go, well, you got to legislate economic policy based on pandemics. No. No, 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 no. A mass shooting's a one-off. You know what a pandemic is? It's also a one-off. That's the whole reason it's a pandemic. It's a surprise. Things didn't happen the way they were expected to. It would be inconsistent of me to say, oh, well, if there's a mass shooting or even several mass shootings, don't regulate guns. And then say, well, we got to regulate if people get sick, though. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Some people got sick and died. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not how it works. Yeah, there has been a distinct lack of school shootings so far. Anyway, we're going back to this. 7-day average for positivity rose from 9.2% to 19.1% during the same period, according to the health department. As of Monday, the virus has killed 1,474 Wisconsin residents and hospitalized 8,454, the health department said. Now remember, their daily averages are higher than their total deaths. Their average infection rates are higher than the total deaths they've had since March. Health experts around the world have stressed that masks and face coverings are critical in helping prevent the spread of coronavirus. Fine. Let stores ban them. Ban them from government spaces. That's your realm. The governor can absolutely require masks in state buildings. Absolutely. Do it. Do it. Issue guidance to the businesses to order masks in the business. Go ahead. Do it. Let the businesses decide. Tell you what, I have been to so many furniture stores over the past couple days because I have to replace all my couches. And we've ordered all new couches. We'll never get them because furniture is so back ordered. But I've ordered all new couches, okay? And I tell you, the furniture store that I can walk into without a mask is the furniture store I buy from first. It's just me. It's just me. It has nothing to do with the political aspect of it. But if I can walk in without a mask on, I can breathe air that's not like hitting a felt thing, and I can talk to someone and see their mouth, that's the one I go to. That's the one I choose, and that's the one I buy from first. Period. That's me. Someone else may be in the opposite thing. Let's say they're 80 and fat. And they go, I'm only going to buy furniture from the furniture store that requires a mask because I want to be protected. Good. That's great. Go buy from that store. Go do it. I encourage it. The market exists for a reason. And the market exists to let me choose to go into a store. And you know what's crazy? I can wear a mask in any store. Any store. Even the ones that say they don't require it. So for me, I can do what's necessary to protect myself no matter where I go. I don't understand why that's a problem. All right, that's the story here. That's the judge one. I'm getting, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm sick of the lockdown. I assume many of you are too. It's just, it's getting a little old at this point. So I've got one more thing to show you. It's a brilliant video by Donald Trump. I gotta find it real quick. I thought this was fake. I thought this video was fake when I saw it. I love it. Come on. Where's the video? Oh, damn it. Here's one of them. This will work. Hold on. We're getting there. Oh, I've got her profile picture in there. Maybe she'll DMCA me. Whatever. Wait, 6 seconds? Is this enough? I don't know. We're gonna take a look at the article in just a second, but let's do this first. I have the right. Here we go. God damn it, it's muted. Hold on. Like, the voice doesn't even sound like Trump here. It sounds like someone dubbed this in, but turns out it's real. So that's great. That makes it even funnier. I'll tell you why it's funny in a minute.
I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and Everybody, I'll just give you a big fat kiss.
Oh my goodness. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and I don't know, everybody. I'll just give you a big fat kiss. This isn't a good representation of it. There's a better one somewhere. Let's see if we can find the full context of it. Really? Is this one it? Is this it? News sites are terrible. Oh, here we go. I think this one has it. I think this is the full context from Newsweek. I want the full click. Or the full clip.
That the number of cases would go down to 0.
Oh, shut up.
How did we get from your prediction of 0 to 1 million?
Well, it will go down to 0 ultimately.
When you do testing to that extent, you're going to find more people, you're going to find more cases. So I said to my people, slow the testing down, please. It affects elderly people.
Oh, God damn it. This isn't it. Where is the clip that you're talking about? What? That's not, they don't even have the clip? Jake Prosobiec has it. Check Discord. Hold on. There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Nick's Hex. This is not available to you. What the fuck are you talking about? There we go. All right, we've got the full clip now. Meshikiari Russ says, I'm tired of these politicians screwing with our lives over essentially a political pissing match, especially when there are a ton of other diseases still out there just as deadly as the beer bug and still around. Most of them are more deadly than the beer bug. Kind of wild. All right, here we go. We've got the full volume.
One thing with me, the nice part, I went through it. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience. I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and everybody. I'll just give you a big fat kiss.
I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women and everybody. I'll give you a big fat kiss. I'm immune. I'll walk right into that audience. I love it. His maximum power of Trump. Trump power mode activate. Yeah, that's where we are, right? It's ridiculous. But that's it. People are criticizing him for this. For what? They're like, let's, oh wait, I was going to show you this article from Daily Beast. Look at how they frame this. Trump threatens to kiss the guys and the beautiful women at first campaign rally since COVID-19 diagnosis. Please don't. from Danica Fears. I bet you fucking do. But guess what, Danica Fears? No one wants to. Not a single person. Not a single person wants to. Jesus. See if we can find. This is Danica Fears. Go. Here we go. Here's Danica Fears, guys. She's coming. There it is. That's Danica Fears. Trust me, men are lining up around the block to just lay one on her constantly. She can't even stop it. There's so many men just lining up to just threateningly kiss Danica Fears. All right, let's go. First campaign rally since being diagnosed with the coronavirus. President Trump vowed to kiss everyone in the audience while claiming he feels so powerful. I went through it, Trump said Monday evening in Sanford, Florida, same city where 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot and killed by George Zimmerman in 2012. Completely irrelevant to this story. Completely irrelevant to this story. Now they say I'm immune. I feel so powerful. I'll walk into that audience. I'll walk in there. I'll kiss everyone in that audience. I'll kiss the guys and the beautiful women. And I'll just give you a big fat kiss. Trump flew to Florida Monday evening as White House physician Dr. Sean Conley released another health update that finally said the president had tested negative for the coronavirus on consecutive days. The memo stated that Trump, who left Walter Reed Hospital just 1 week ago, took an Abbott rapid test, which has proven less sensitive than other forms of testing. So that's your Daily Beast story on Trump. Trump threatens to kiss the guys and the beautiful women. That's what I love about this story. That's what I love about this story. I know there are people out there, and you know them too. You know them too. They legitimately believe that Trump is going to run out and force kiss everybody in the audience. Like 30,000 people. He's going to just be kissing and licking and whatever. Just breathing in their eyeballs, licking their eardrums, whatever he can do. He's going to just be doing it constantly. Because he said a joke. A joke on stage. That's why I love this story. That's why I love it. Gotcha, Spurious. It's just it's beautiful in its own way. It's beautiful. Let me take a look at this real quick. Story 2, Biden, I'm not a fan of court packing. Oh, okay, let's see what he says here. I'm not a fan of court packing. Joe Biden says he is not a fan of the idea of expanding the U.S. Supreme Court to undo a conservative majority. The prospect of court packing has emerged as a possible response to Republicans pushing through President Trump's nomination of Amy Coney Barrett with weeks left before the election. Biden has sidestepped questions about whether he would back such a gambit, as did running mate Kamala Harris during last week's vice presidential debate. But asked about it during a campaign stop in Cincinnati on Monday, Biden told WKRC, I'm not a fan of court packing, but I don't want to get off on that whole issue. Why would you get off on that issue? You heard it here, folks. Joe Biden doesn't want to get off on the idea of court packing. Gross. Gross. I want to keep focus. The president would love nothing better than to fight about whether or not I would in fact pack the court or not pack the court. Focus why he's doing what he's doing now. No, the focus is whether or not you're going to pack the fucking court. That's a legitimate question. Are you going to pack the court? Are you going to flaunt the Judiciary Act? Are you going to do that and pack the court? I fully believe the president has full authority to pack the court. I absolutely believe they can. I don't believe they should. Be very clear on that. I believe the president has the power to pack the court. I don't believe the president should pack the court. And I think the Senate should resist it from either party. I think Biden will absolutely pack the court. Why not just say, I'm not going to pack the court? Won't do that. I'm not going to appoint more than 9 justices. That's crazy, man. Anchorage mayor apologizes for inappropriate messaging relationship with news anchor. Stop sending your dick to people. What's wrong with you? Stop sending your cock in messages. I take responsibility for my actions. Athens included what appeared to be a nude photo of Berkowitz in her social media posts. News anchor who worked for KTBY and KYUR till last week was reportedly arrested on Friday after a fight at the KTBY station, charged with 4th-degree assault, criminal mischief, and disorderly conduct. Blah, 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 blah. No brush detangles my natural hair like this one. Who fucking cares about that? Oh, that was an ad. Johnson & Johnson halts COVID vaccine study after participant comes down with unexplained illness. Oh, are you guys just pumped for that vaccine? Are you just pumped to get that vaccine pumped into your veins? I know I can't wait. I know I can't wait for a rushed vaccine for a non-lethal illness. God, please just sign me up. NBC ousts head of unscripted TV over claims of toxic management, a report. NBC has ousted another top executive following an investigation sparked by a Hollywood Reporter story on toxic environment in the reality TV division. Meredith R., the hit-making head of unscripted television, follows her former boss, ex-entertainment president Paul Talegdi, out the door. Sources told THR that a company probe initiated after the outlet aired allegations of racism, misogyny, and homophobia concluded R and Talegdi violated network standards. So there's another. NBC outed a top official for being racist, misogynist, and homophobic, and it's a woman. Fantastic. Good job. Let's see. What's next? What else do we have on here? I should just do the Daily Beast daily and just shit on this stupid publication. Maskless Florida Governor DeSantis gives high fives at Trump rally, then rubs his nose. Oh my God. Ohio election worker slams COVID scientists on official account. Wait, what? Huh? COVID protest leader asks for order against assaulted journalist. Okay. What are the last two? Seeing these last two stories. Lone tourists allowed to visit Machu Picchu after being stranded in Peru for 7 months. Well, nowhere else I'd rather be stranded than fucking Peru. Secret Service spent $238,000 at Trump properties to protect the president's kids. Yeah, the Secret Service spends a lot of money to protect president's kids wherever they go. It wasn't a story during Obama. It's not a story during Trump. It's just costs a lot for the president or their kids to go anywhere. They shit on Obama a lot for going to like the Hamptons or Martha's Vineyard or whatever. They did it a lot because everybody has to travel with the president. Yes, we know. We get it. That's part of the price we pay for the president. It's part of why we don't give them that big of a salary. Anyway. All right, I'm done reading these stupid news stories. I'm done with it. I quit. I quit. That's today. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's do super chats. We'll end the show. We will go over to my Twitch channel, which I encourage you. I challenge you. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Come to Twitch and watch the 4th installment of the Hatchet series. Victor Crowley with us tonight. 3rd one was great. First 2 were a little slow. 3rd one was great. Come over, hang out with us, do that. We'll watch some schlocky movie after it. And that'll be the show for tonight. So let's do these chats, and then we'll do that. It'll be a lot of fun. And we'll see you over on Twitch. Malik Foxon says, hot take, microaggressions don't exist. It's just something snowflakes made up to find something to be upset over. Yes. Most of the time, microaggressions are characterized by a snowflake's perception of something that is to the average person harmless. I would say it's even to the below average person harmless. Night of Hopex says, the microaggression stuff is a product of critical theory. There's been a concerted effort to overthrow the West from within by the Marxist movement for a little over 100 years now. This is just another one of their inventions for dividing up our society. Did you guys see that that chick who just was like in the middle of her program in race theory or whatever, and is so mad that Trump shut down the diversity training programs across the country? God, that was funny. That was fantastic. Epstein's associate says you have to pay the woke toll to get into the boys' hole. No. Crusader Saracen says, haha, you don't get to play Daggerfall, but apparently Daggerfall Unity remake is freeware. You should check it out. And then look at the mods Razorfist is downloaded. No, I know what it is. I know I can do it. I just don't have time to do it. Night of Hopex says, I think a lot of people nowadays have an overtly convenient cynicism. Says anyone who is motivated in their reasoning can't be correct about anything. Our legal process doesn't get to the truth 100% of the time. There's no better way to go about it. Yep, I agree. Siren Jack says people who search for cuties on Amazon also purchase 1 gallon of concentrated Clorox bleach and 1 eyedropper. Crusader Saracen says she's the worst person I met on the internet. And remember, I've interviewed a convicted pedophile. Jesus Christ, Nick. I don't know who's more savage, you or Drex. That's racist. Bad Dragonite says, so the security guard that shot a guy in Denver was not licensed to be a guard. That's usually not a big deal, but Denver actually requires a license. He was hired to that job by Pinkerton, who got him through another subcontractor. Whose fault is it legally? The hiring party. Legally, it's the hiring party. If they contracted with someone else to subcontract with the guy, they may have an indemnification agreement with the contractor. So, hard to say without seeing that. Malik Foxon says, so what are you trying to say, Slate? You're saying those of us who say mail-in ballots are a bad idea were only thinking on one side when we said ballot harvesting is a bad idea? Motherfucker, yesterday you were defending this shit. Stop, put the pen down. I agree. Unanswered question says, Nick, I have a friend that says he doesn't care what's legal or illegal. He only cares about what is moral. I'm not sure if he means his morality or society. It's always their morality. It's never society's. Or societies or something else. As a lawyer, what do you think the relationship between law and morality is? Look, the application of law is the application of moral behavior, right? Right behavior, correct behavior, within the framework of legal ethics. So the statutes and laws that we have structured and legal behavior within that is moral in the system of law. Legal behavior is moral, necessarily. By the definition of morality, it's just correct behavior. That's all it is. Whether or not the laws are moral is subject to a different set of ethics or a different code of conduct, if you will. So laws can be immoral if you look at them from a Christian ethic. Laws can be very immoral if you look at them from a Muslim ethic, right? Moral behavior is just acting right within a set of rules. That's what I say. Kermit the Frog says, wash your ass. When I'm with the ladies, my ass ain't smelly, so they can tongue it like it's full of grape jelly. Hanging out with the lady that's a dominatrix who nibbles my balls like it's a bag of trail mix. Up and down, left and right, wash your ass every night. Ah! Malik Foxon says, I wouldn't be surprised that that's the president's perspective, since he's got libs wanting to shut down the confirmation of our new justice he appointed because the dogma of her faith might bias her while she carries out the duties of her new office. It absolutely will. It absolutely will. And it should. Look, faith is part of the package, y'all. That's who a person is, and it's how they're going to base their decisions. There's no way around that. There's no divorcing yourself from it. And if we could just stop pretending that faith or lack thereof has no impact on people's decision making, we'll be better off. We'll be way better off. Sage Emerald says, when are Sophie documents? I don't know. Hopefully soon. I got to do the work on it. Angry Baneling says, wow, why are you on time? You weren't supposed to. He also says, Timmer is being mean. Don't head pat him, no mo. Timmer, head pats to you for being mean. Literally everyone says it's lucky that the natives had such a tolerant immigration policy. Worked out great for them. Definitely an example we should follow. Damn. Classical Positioning says, speaking of Columbus and Jews, based on possible use of cryptology, he likely was one secretly. Jews were expelled from Spain, and shortly thereafter, as in days, he set sail on his grand voyage. Kalinka Pavlova says, you're a nice donkey hole, Nick, and it does make sense. Thank you. Monica's personal fucking fiancé says, those words hurtin', Nikki. I'm a changed man. I Hate Yankees says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how fricked is the fake bodyguard in Denver, and how fricked is the news channel that hired him? Hopefully both of them will suffer severe consequences. Especially the killer. Hopefully he goes to jail forever. Recovery Anonymous says, whatever happened with the Mercedes Carrera case? It's just sitting. It's just sitting. I should probably do an update on it. I will try to work on that. Angry Baneling says, Nick, look at the image I DM'd you on Twitter. It will make your Kokoro go Daki Daki, presumably. Don't quote me on it, though. I don't see an image you DM'd me on Twitter. Oh, on Twitter. Shit. Gross. No. Stop it. Cemetery Lady says, everyone should take the bird and fix it / edit it and use it as their profile pic. I think she really likes that. Reagan Lodge says, does Trump's I'll kiss all the guys and the pretty ladies comment at his rally mean he's coming out as bisexual or as Mediterranean? Yes. Yes, he's bi and Mediterranean. Stay away from him. Mario Carter 13 says, de minimis exception doesn't apply to land whales. Bad Vibe says, there's something fishy about this stream. Lol. Daniel Camargo says, hey, Nick, heard someone tell me that if I get a ticket, I can make the cop pay it. Any legality to that? I mean, no. Long story short, no. You can't make the cop pay it. Tet says, is there a number of ballots lost, found, messed with we would have to reach to declare a do-over? Not that I'm aware of. Mario Carter 13 says, by statute, republicanism is illegal in California. You nailed it. You nailed it. Donut Swan says, Nick's math professors should return their salary. Yes. David Edwards says, live lawyer math should be a regular segment. Very entertaining. Listen, stop it. Stop making fun of me. I'm trying. Ulash1 says, did you see Cuomo publicly ordered the state prosecution of the New York City Jewish community? No, but Cuomo's been attacking the New York Jews quite a bit lately. Good job. Good job, Cuomo, I guess. Hashtag based, hashtag red pilled, hashtag mein Führer. Is that what we need to do for Cuomo? Bad Vibe says, Idaho can eat all the dicks. Bill Keller says, don't trust the police. They're loyal only to their paychecks and pensions. Donut Swan says, Nick, Dems do care. Under Biden-Harris, you will have the freedom to worship Baphomet, Mephistopheles, Beelzebub, or any demon you so choose. Ulash 1 says, Dems do care. That's why they've already drawn up plans for ovens should Biden win. Daniel Camargo says, I tagged you on Twitter. Funniest Biden vid ever. Okay. The asterisk says, I left religion, but if I'm wrong, I'd be happy to be your Virgil, Dante. Mario Carter 13 says, Governor Khaled must be stopped. Another one. Andrew War Snowboard says, Camelot 331 was up for 48 hours puking because of Vic-style lawsuit alleged by someone he's never heard of. Pray for him. Yeah, guys, Camelot seems like a good dude. And, I haven't seen any substance in the allegations against him. Andrew War Snowboard says, if your congressman has a bro husband, vote her out. He also says, I refer to cable news as professional wrestling, and my parents don't understand it. I hate it. Gerard Garvin says, Nick, you're wrong. We need to wait until Dr. Fauci collects all 7 of the Earth's Dragon Balls and wishes COVID away. Then we can stop living in terror. You're right. You nailed it. You got it. You got it. Mario Carter 13 says, CNN, Trump makes the coof an STD. 200 Watt Studio says, I won't pack the court. I won't pack the court. I'll sniff the court. What are you talking about, man? You some kind of junkie? Bloody Bumper says, how can I send you a God Emperor Trump poster? My P.O. box is in the description. It's in the description. And then Malik Foxon. Wait, no, damn it. Christopher Columbus says, I didn't do anything wrong according to libs. I just culturally enriched the inhabitants of this land through open borders and free immigration policy. Malik Foxon says, imagine that, though. They actually believed it was all Trump's fault for not taking action. Provided that is true, they're actually throwing their own under the bus because they're saying Trump won't stop us, shutting our state down. His fault. Xander's Rand says, did you know that Doug TenNapel had Gabriel Wrench at his place and went to their convention in Nashville? Guy who got arrested for church service. Also, what you going to buy for your Amazon Prime Day? I did not know that about Doug. I had no idea. But I've been there too, to Doug's place. So I feel like Gabriel Wrench has been to my place. I don't know what I'm going to do for Amazon Prime Day. I might not buy anything. I really need a large 4K TV. Yellow Flash yelled at me for not owning a 4K TV. But yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. That's the show. That's the show. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I always love and appreciate it. And yeah, come over to Twitch. We'll probably start around 2 a.m. I have to go make some food. I'm starving. I'm starving to death as we speak. I need some food. So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Let's do the outro, and then I'll see you over on Twitch. Have a good night. Peace. Peace.
Oh, he drinks a fair bit, but you realize that it just helps get his noggin jogging along. With his glass by his side and his kids asleep tight, we'll hear some law-splaining tonight. With his microphone muted, we'll laugh at this boomer until he explains it's all part of the plan. Watch his face become redder as he becomes madder, raging at idiots from Twitterland. From the white shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an art bag, a bow, more of Latenight. The spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea, post on Twitter as we hear lost planning tonight. From the wide shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we are now. Oh, the guests are all plentiful, from Dante to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea, post on Twitter as we hear lost planning tonight. From the wide shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law